That's close enough. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to March. Fat Tuesday. I mean, whatever you want to call it, you know. Got a couple folks coming down yet. First of all, I want to thank everybody for braving the elements a little bit out here. It's going to get better. It is March the 1st. And participating in something that not just me, but the community and a lot of other folks have been wishing for and working for quite a few years. And the day's finally here. And I'm very happy that it is. So while it may be a little chilly out, it's pretty warm in my heart for the community today for this project. Starting off, I think we would all be remiss if we didn't just take a moment. There's a lot of tensions in the world right now. There's a heck of a lot going on the negative side. So I would ask if we'd all just take a moment of silence to keep in your thoughts and prayers the folks not only in Ukraine, but the surrounding areas that are going through some tough times right now. Thank you all very much. Again, it's an honor to lead this brief groundbreaking. Okay, I'm going to keep it brief, and again, thank everybody for attending. I want to recognize some of my colleagues here today. Without them, we wouldn't be here, and I want to thank them. Specifically, I'm going to start off with Carroll County Commissioner President Ed Rothstein. You can applaud for him. Vice President Dick Weaver. Commissioner Dennis Frazier. Commissioner Eric Boucher. And I think most of you know me, Commissioner Steve Wantz. A couple other electeds that are here. I'm excited to see Mayor Pro Tem of Tawnytown, Joe Vigliotti, very good friend of mine. From Westminster City Council, Caroline, oh, wait a minute, Kevin Dayhoff. Any other electeds that I missed? Speak now or forever hold your peace. Oh, Dan, and you're taller than, I did, I'm sorry. And from Tawnytown Town Council, my good friend, and I think he's a relative of mine, Dan Haynes. Yeah, so there's that. Our county administrator, who has kept this project in the front of my mind when I've been yelling and screaming and everything else and telling me to calm down, I want to thank her as well. She's here this morning, Roberta Wyndham. Thank you very much for all your help. So, quick brief history here. As most of you know, there was a building here constructed in 1929, and then there was a previous structure here that was here in 1921 that was destroyed by fire in 1928. In 1950, an addition was put on, and then in 1973, a second addition was constructed. So that remained in place for quite some time, and then some things occurred, and the Board of Education in Carroll made a decision to close 3 schools. And I spoke about this in my State of the County address. We have worked extremely hard to turn what was negative, 3 negatives, into 3 positives. Again, I would be remiss if I didn't acknowledge my good friend and colleague, Dick Weaver, who has worked tirelessly on North Carroll as well. That's going to be another great community venue up there, Dick, and congratulations to you and your community. Again, it's going to be... Both of these places are going to be something to be very proud of. After the decision was made to close this building, there were a lot of things that occurred. We had some walkthroughs for the community so folks could remember and reminisce. Students, teachers, family members, all participated in that. And perhaps that was the first day that was ingrained in my mind about how that was part of the glue of this community. and how that needed to come back here in whatever form it needed to be. So here we are, and again, I want to thank quite a few people. I want to thank a gentleman who's no longer with us, but who was a mentor to me and was just a great individual, and that's our former Public Works Director, Scott Moser. Scott passed away last year, and Scott was just an incredible individual. And Scott and I would burn the midnight oil talking about what needed to occur here. And that will be forever ingrained in my mind as well. So, Scott, to you, I know you're looking down, and thank you for your passion for this project. Kirk Engel, where's Kirk? This guy right here kind of took that passion and ran with it as well. Kirk has a lot of family ties here and understands what needed to happen here. We couldn't have found a better person to step up and take this project on. So, Kirk, to you, your family, and everybody, I cannot thank you enough. Thank you very much for all that you've done to make this day happen. There's quite a few folks here from my Silver Run Union Mills Advisory Committee. That still is a group that's been put together, that was put together about 2 years ago, and they also worked tirelessly to make sure that something occurred here, and there was just not an empty lot. So to those, thank you very much that are here, and I'll reach out to them later on personally as well. I have a gentleman here who I also, well, all the rest of my public works folks are here. I'm going to have, is Jeff here, casting away? Did I see? There's Jeff. I'm going to have him introduce a couple of those folks, or Eric. I'm going to have Eric do that. But first, I have a gentleman here that also put his heart and soul into this, and he's got, he's here, and he's got to leave soon for another thing that he's got to be participating in. So I want to give him a chance to say a few words. We knew when we went into this project that we needed community involvement. We needed somebody to keep everything together. And we picked a liaison. And Kirk, you, Eric, Jeff, you all remember when we decided to do that. And we found a guy who, again, took this project and ran with it. So Derek, if you'd come up here, please. Derek Ludlow was the community liaison for this project. And I want to give Derek a chance to say a few words here.
Sure.
And thank you very much for all that you've done, sir.
Yeah, of course. Good morning, everybody. Good morning. So I just, as a community member and somebody with young family, 2 kids in the community here, 5 and 9, and going to be here hopefully for, the next 100+ years as the previous building was. I was honored and it was a privilege to be, able to sit at the table with the commissioners, the architects, the general contractor selection, Kirk, Eric, your staff, everybody involved. I just want to say thank you from all of us that are here. It certainly meant a lot to realize that, we weren't really left in the weeds and to be forgotten, that once the brick and mortar went down, there was a lot more to it. And it is a lot more than just brick and mortar. I know my family looks forward to what the next 100 years is going to be here on this site. Really honored, like I said, to be a part of it. Very supportive of all of you folks here under this pavilion today and everybody throughout the county. Steve, thank you. I know it's been something that you've pressed on. I know a little thing named COVID kind of got in the way and slowed some of us down, but we kept trucking. And, I truly do appreciate that. And, I just hope that this becomes the next anchor to us here at Silver Run and Union Mills community, and we can start bringing folks back up, to this beautiful area, supporting what we have around here. So thank you all for being in attendance, and thank you guys for your help and support.
Okay, now I'd like to introduce our Deputy Director of Public Works, Mr. Eric Burdine.
Good morning, everyone. Board of Commissioners, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, it is an honor for me to be here this morning to celebrate the beginning of the construction of the new Charles Carroll Community Center. This is an important project for Silver Run community. It will serve as a place for all members of the community to gather and enjoy a variety of sporting events and community activities for many decades to come. A project like this absolutely cannot happen without the hard work and dedication of so many people in the forging of great partnerships. First and foremost, this project would not be possible without the support of the Board of County Commissioners. Commissioner Wantz has been a great champion and leader on this project from the very beginning. Secondly, but just as important, I would like to thank the Silver Run community for their time and input as we work to develop a project that best serves the community. I also thank you for the abundance of patience you showed my team and I while waiting for this day to finally come. Special thanks are owed to Derek Ludlow, who served as a community liaison, to the county staff and design team as we developed this project from raw ideas to a finished product on paper. I'd like to thank our architectural team, Memoir Architects and Engineers, and their consultants for their countless hours they have spent in the architectural and engineering design, development, and permitting of this project. I'd like to thank our internal partner agencies that collaborate with the Bureau of Building Construction during design. Justin McGonnell, Bureau Chief of Facilities, and his team, Mark Ripper, Director of Technology Services, and his team, and Jeff Degetz, Director of Recreation and Parks, and his team. I'd also like to thank our internal staff from the county, County Administrator Roberta Wyndham, Director of Public Works Jeff Castingway, Bureau Chief of Building Construction John Bowers, Laura Myers and Stephanie Haynes for providing hours of support to accomplish everything involved in moving the project forward to where we are today. Kirk Engel, Project Manager for the Charles Carroll Community Center project. As Commissioner Wantz pointed out, Kirk was the perfect choice for this project. His deep roots in the community have translated into passion for this project as well as passion for getting it right. This passion, I am sure, will continue to serve him well while we're providing oversight on the construction of this very important Carroll County project. Finally, I'd like to highlight the partnership formed with North Point Builders. Ken Wingate and his team have been incredibly dedicated to this project from the moment the bid documents hit the street and have continued that dedication through pre-construction. I am 100% confident that North Point Builders will complete this project with the care and quality construction this community and this community center deserves. Thank you.
All right, our Director of Director of Parks and Rec, Jeff Degetz. Jeff, if you'd come up, please.
Good morning, everyone. It is cold, but it is a great day. I can't tell you how excited we are to see this project moving forward. Carroll County has long valued providing recreational opportunities, and in this community it's a little bit different because it is a little isolated. You don't have the population that you may have in some other areas, but you also shouldn't have to travel very far in order to enjoy those opportunities. Good example of this is about 40 years ago, the county put tennis courts in on this school site. That was pretty much unheard of at an elementary school. Those courts remain, and they have recently been refurbished. So I am thrilled to see this project move forward and to have the community center coming. I have a lot of good memories of attending rec council meetings, and yes, most of those memories are good. Not all, but most of them are. And it'll be great to have a building here for those activities to continue. I too would like to thank the Board of County Commissioners for their support and funding of this project. Also the funding of the renovations. We recently renovated the fencing on the ball fields, the basketball court, and the tennis courts. And we have a new playground that has been ordered, and it will be coming this summer. So all of the outdoor amenities will be completed, and that will line up with this new community center very nicely. So happy to see a former school transformed into a park with a great community center. So thank you to everybody for involved, and again, thank you to the county commissioners for their support. Appreciate it.
Okay, a couple quick things before we put shovels in the ground. Most of you will remember that this building was demolished in 2018. That's the same date that we picked the architectural firm that was spoken of Memar Architects and Engineers. The concept plan was presented to Planning and Zoning in 2020. Project finally put out to bid in 2021. North Point Builders, who were wonderful to have partners with here, and they'll probably get sick of seeing me, was chosen for the project, and now we're getting started here in March of 2022. So I just wanted to touch on some of that a little bit, just to remind folks of how far we've come. So while this polarizing decision to close the school certainly affected the community, the decision that I and my colleagues have made has now turned it into a positive. And out of the gate, I recognize that not only was the previous school building that stood here a valuable piece of history, but it was also the glue that held this community together. It certainly wasn't an easy journey. From the State Highway Administration that told us we needed to put 2 or 3 more lanes in down here. We fought through that and came up with a great decision that that's not necessary now. To the fiscal responsibilities of building a new building in Carroll, that included many discussions, many debates, to a pandemic that delayed almost every step along the way, but the push continued. And I, along with staff, kept the gas pedal down, and here we are. Again, I want to thank all those who were responsible, and I also want to thank those who pushed back on this project. They were loud, not only on social media, where it seems these days you can pretty much say anything you want without any consequences, to the negative in-person comments that some of us received, made at various meetings, to the no votes along the way. I want to thank you for reminding me that it's not about the money or personal opinions, it's about people. And this groundbreaking today proves that positivity is still alive and well. So I, along with a lot of my friends that are here today, those that aren't here but will certainly be here in droves when we see the doors open, we all look forward to the progress that is happening here today and what's going to happen with this community building as it begins to rise. I'm glad that we all embrace this project and the excitement that lies ahead for not just Silver Run Union Mills, but the entire county and beyond, because this building will have amenities that many people will be able to take advantage of. And I'm sure all of you will find yourselves here for some event at some time in your lives. So thank you very much again for being a part of this. It's been a long journey, and man, are we all breathing a sigh of relief. And I got to just share this one quick story. There were many times that I walked in on the second floor to the Department of Public Works. And at one point, I think I said to Kirk, and John Bowers perhaps was in the room. I know Dean Leister heard me. Jeff heard me casting away. Eric heard me. I said, this project doesn't get off the ground, and I'm not walking into this project at some point in the near future. Y'all need to pack your boxes. Put your boxes away. Thank you all very much. I appreciate it. So we're going to do some ceremonial shoveling now before my good friends from North Point fire up the machines and get rolling here. What are we thinking about time-wise here, Mr. North Point? We'll see what we can do. Ed, you got any? Ed, know any bricklayer? Well, again, we'll see how the project goes, but we're all very excited about it, and we're going to all watch the project as we. So there you go. So again, thank you all very much. Right now, I need my colleagues up here The commissioners, if you come up here and put your hats on, please.